Right, okay. So Bitfinite or Bitfinite. Let's see what the deal is here. As you can see, I've already got some Bitcoins in there. Now I'm hoping that this one will turn out to be a good lending platform. Purely because you've seen a few fail. And there's quite a few scams out there as well. Right. Get to the main website. So it looks like 9.5 hours for this one. Now, I have to say that the website, it's got a similar feel to Stenium. And I'm hoping that it doesn't crash this time, because the last time the website couldn't actually handle all the traffic that it was getting. Now, the tricky thing with these lending ICOs is you have to be there as soon as the round opens up. Meaning, from this video, around 9.5 hours you should be logged in your account, ready to purchase as many tokens as possible. And forget about all the idiots that say that it's going to be 1000x. That's pretty silly. It's pretty rare as well. If you want to be reasonable, I'm guessing that 10x is quite a sensible expectation. Now, Bitfinite, however people are pronouncing it, it seems as though there's a lot of hype for this one, and that in itself tells you enough. It tells you that as soon as the tokens are ready, people are going to be pouncing on it. So for that reason, websites could quite easily end up getting blocked. And let's see what this price is out here. Okay, so 75 cents for the first round, bonus 15%. It's only 500,000 that they're going to be releasing on the first go. Here's a trick which has worked for me and the other ICOs. Sometimes Google Chrome can be quite slow, and it doesn't really help in terms of processing the website. Now, one thing I've realized, Microsoft Edge has actually been helping me get as many coins as possible. So that's a little trick for you. If you feel as though that the website is too clogged up, switch your browser to Microsoft Edge. It might do the job. Now let's see the dates. The dates are important, because the dates will tell you how fast you can expect to get some sort of return from these. Now with this one, it says ICO ends on the 17th of Jan, which is quite a while away. And this is the key that you should be waiting for: the exchange listing. Internal exchange opens on the 29th of Jan. So you've basically got a month and a half to get as many tokens as possible, hold on to it, and wait up until the internal exchange opens. As soon as the internal exchange opens, it means you can quite easily expect to make at least minimum 5 times the amount of money that you put in originally, depending on how many tokens you get. And it's actually not uncommon for them to go to about 10x, quite easy. So that'll be an exciting one. And the reason why I say this is the one to invest in for myself. 9.5 hours, you can get into it right now. And what other plans do they have? External exchange. Now, depending on which external exchange they list themselves in, If it's something like Bittrex or Coinbase, this price will actually skyrocket. So let's hope they actually do that. It means more money for us. As soon as these tokens hit the exchange, what it basically does is that it increases the exposure to different people, and the more people that have access to it, the greater the demand. The greater the demand, the more the cost per token. So that is the actual part that's exciting, to be able to see exactly what happens to the tokens as soon as they hit the exchange. Now, sometimes they do go onto the exchange and the price doesn't go up as fast as you want it. However, I would be patient and just hold on to it. Lending programs. These lending programs are actually quite interesting. However, this is the one that sort of really caught my eye with this ICO. The fact that they have a lottery. Now, in the real world, the lottery itself is more or less a scam. Everybody basically chips in a chance to be able to escape the system. How many people actually really get that chance to escape the system? It's almost impossible. And it sets people up with a crazy amount of money which they don't really need. So a few years ago I worked as a loan broker, and you'd be quite surprised as to what people's expectations are in terms of being able to gain some sort of capital to be able to break free from working at 9 to 5. And apparently, I think it's 55% of people interviewed for a loan had an expectation or were relying on winning the lottery to be able to resolve all their financial problems. Now that is actually crazy. Don't hold me to it. It was a very, very sort of significant figure. A very high percentage of people rely on the lottery. Okay, so here's the exchanges that they're going to be listed onto. Coin exchange. Coin exchange is okay. I wouldn't say that there's going to be a massive jump in price if it goes into coin exchange. Cryptopia is okay. Cryptopia is not bad. I think it's a New Zealand based exchange. So there you have it. Another lending program where the hype is quite high. It looks as though they've got a really good program in terms of what plans they have for the future. And these are important. Dates so that you can set yourself some expectation of when you feel as though you can possibly cash out on the tokens that you buy during the ICO. So if you're interested in the ICO, I'll leave a little link behind in the description. By all means, have a look, log in, see if you can make yourself familiar with the system. Be careful in depositing Bitcoin. You want to do that as soon as possible because the system does get clogged up, and it can be pretty frustrating when you see everybody else being able to get a hold of the tokens exactly on time whilst you're still waiting for your Bitcoin to be transferred. So make sure you do that early. If the system clogs up on you, then by all means switch your browser, use Microsoft Edge. I've definitely received results from Microsoft Edge. If that still doesn't work, chances are it could be clogged in your country, so you can use a VPN for that. I'm using Windscribe if I feel as though I can't get through to the website. Windscribe, Google it, will set up a virtual private network in different parts of the world. I've found that the best results come from a general location of where the where the website is being hosted. So for example, Stenium itself, the team is from Singapore, so I'm guessing that the service provider that they would have would be located somewhere around Singapore. So if you set up a virtual private network around the locality of where it's being hosted, if you know it, if not a problem, just aim for the best location possible and click on. And what that'll do is it'll disconnect you from the internet, it'll reconnect you to the best location possible on a virtual private network, and then you can possibly log in and claim your tokens. So yep, Bitfinite, it's the next big ICO that's happening right now. Now, in case you didn't know, there's also another one currently running, and that's Exacoin. Now this is the tricky one. I think they only release like 300,000 at a time. Right, so 300,000 at a time that they release, I believe. Let me have a look at this. Oh, right, yep, so they decreased it. This formula right here is pretty stupid, although I'm only saying that because I'm being biased. It's only because I missed out on the early opportunities to buy the tokens. Right, so on the initial stages they released 450,000 Exa tokens or Exocoins, and it looks like the limit at the time was 500 each. However, now the cost is $1.20. You get 300 at a time, meaning 300 per day, and it looks like it'll be running back to back on a daily basis, and it'll only be 300,000 that they'll be releasing at the time. I tried to get this coin in the morning, and the problem I had with this was that I didn't enable two-factor authentication. So I've got some money sitting there waiting to be claimed. I'm hoping I can get hold of my tokens as soon as they become available. I'll be there waiting. As soon as this hits 0, I'll have my code in there ready, and I'll just hit buy straight away. Hopefully that'll get a process started so that I can get some coins. Now, the reason why I say this is one of interest is purely because of the hype around it. Whenever they stage their coin releases in ICOs, and they control it to the point where they only release X amount, it does create a FOMO, or a need to be involved by people. So people end up panicking, feeling as though they're missing out, and just the feeling of missing out makes you want to be able to participate as much as possible. Now, chances are, as soon as this one hits 0, it will be sold out straight away. However, if I were you, I would probably set up multiple tabs. It is sort of mimicking a DDoS attack. However, there's no bad intention here. You're not going to do any sort of damage whatsoever. People create multiple tabs all the time to be able to have their chance, or create a good chance at getting the coin. So yeah, Exacoin for you right here. Let's see if I can find some information on Exacoin. Maximum supply of 27 million. Now that's good. 27 million is a good number, purely because if it were 1 billion, then chances are you're not going to get a great deal of opportunities to make some decent money from this. If they released 1 billion coins, for example, it'd be quite impossible for a lending platform to have their coins worth or valued at $1 per coin, meaning that the entire company would be worth $1 billion. That's just not going to happen. So I $1 per coin sounds sensible for a $27 million maximum supply of coins. And because of the limited supply, and as well as the fact that as soon as they start the exchange making it available to a variety of people, the demand would actually increase. Now that's the trick with these ICOs, that you wait up until they hit the exchange. As soon as they get to the exchange, you keep an eye on it. If you're happy with the price that it's gone to, then by all means you can sell out if you like, or you can hold on to it. Entirely up to you, it's your decisions. Now the good thing about this one is that it started at 90 cents per token, which isn't too far off the finishing price. I think, or I would lean towards any ICOs that have a silly price, for example 20 cents per token at the start, leading all the way up to $1 or $1.50 near the end. They seem quite scammy, because who the hell would lose out so much money in selling their original tokens at 20 cents and then later on down the line $1.50? There's just too much of a massive gap. So I'd say that the closer the gap between the token rounds, the more legitimate feel it is. It feels as though the company is going to stay around for a while. It doesn't mean that they're going to overinflate their prices. It doesn't look like they're trying to scrape as many coins from everyone else as possible. And from what I can see, all the other companies that have staged their ICO release have stuck around. So this one here would definitely be one to be involved in. Now if you buy 300 coins, even if you buy them at $1.10, $1.20, these 300 coins could quite easily cost you around, what is that, $3,300, $320, wherever the maths is. Sorry, I'm not good at maths, but yeah, let's just say you spend $300 for these tokens, which isn't actually a great deal of money, but ICOs, or lending ICOs, is the only platform or the only opportunity in your life where you can actually make 10 times the amount of money, which is actually quite real and insane. You'll never get the opportunity to make 10 times the amount of money that you would do anywhere else in life. You would never get the chance to make it in properties. Lending in real life, you won't get the opportunity to make 10 times unless you're a legitimate bank who can do fractional lending. Then that's a different story. But a person like you and me will hardly ever get the opportunity to make 10 times the amount of money that they would do outside of ICOs. So that's the reason why I say that it's a good opportunity for people to get in there, get as many coins as possible, and see if they can hold on to those coins and release them up until the point where they're happy with the amount that they're getting back. So even if it ends up becoming $1 per token, you got $300 there. However, most of these tokens 5xing, 10xing easy, no problem whatsoever. This $300 can easily become $3,000. That $3,000 on the next ICO can quite easily become $30,000. So you can see where I'm going with this. The tricky thing is you have to get in there as soon as possible, because it looks like these days there's a lot of ICOs opening up, and you have to be able to segregate the good ones from the bad. Just pause this for a sec. There, are we back on? Yep. Oh, cool. Right, okay, so let's have a look at this lending program. 48% back if you, up to 48% if you give him $1,000. That's crazy. Volatility software interest 48%. 79 days. that's actually quite interesting. Now, here's the thing. If you start with $300, get yourself 300 tokens. Imagine if the 300 tokens turn to $3,000. You can quite easily throw yourself in this lending category right here and start gaining some sort of interest from the $300 that you originally put in. So you can see where I'm going with this. You can quite easily make a decent amount of money. You can employ different strategies in order to get the best bang for your buck. Or if you're just simply not happy with proceeding with these lending platforms, then you can just get it changed to Bitcoins as soon as the exchange is open and cash out. Entirely up to you. It's your choice, your money, your decision if you want to invest or not. However, what I'm doing here is I'm simply just streaming free information for you guys to be able to take part in ICOs and give yourself the opportunities to make money if you really want to do that. Now, the roadmap. Here it is again. Right, so the internal exchange will open around Jan. Their target they say is $20. $20 is possible. $50, I think that's a bit of a stretch. With this one, well, the hype is there. The hype is there, so $50 could be possible depending on how well they do. One common theme with the lending platforms is that they do introduce a higher return rate at the start, and then as the weeks go by the return rate sort of reduces. So BitConnect itself was giving around 1.8%, 2%, and now it's averaging around just under a percent. Yeah, so 0.9% is what it's probably averaging, I'd say. If I were to get hold of tokens from this one, what I would probably do is I would wait up until the exchange opens up and I'd sell and then move on to the next one, because there's so many lending platforms out there, none of them are going to last, or 95% of them aren't going to last. If you're interested in this one, the link is down there in the description. By all means, the ICO is still going on. It's still carried out in stages. Recording today, it's the 21st or the 22nd, depending on which part of the world you're from. The coins are being offered at $1.20. You get 300 max. It resumes again the next day, and you get another chance of getting the maximum allowance for the day. So you find yourself getting 600 tokens. Let's say you just take part for 2 days in a row. Your tokens could possibly end up at $10 per token. You got yourself an easy $6,000 right there. $6,000 which you could use for other promising ICOs as well. And you can see exactly where I'm going with this. The ball actually does start to get rolling. That's exactly how I started with this. However, I did spend a lot of time researching in regards to how to make money. At first I was going for ICOs like D-Market, Naga, uToken, BondPay, and then I started to realize that in order for yourself to see the quickest gains, and I'm guessing people are taking part to be able to see gains, get some return as quick as possible. In order for you to do that, you have to take part in lending ICOs because the cost for them skyrocket. It's as simple as that, easy as that, and the only thing you need is dedication. Now, if you're dedicated enough, you'll get up at the time that you need to be able to buy whatever tokens are out then. And if the website's freezing for about half an hour, 1 hour, you've got to carry on battling through that. Just get them tokens, because in the end it's going to be worth it. Now, it took me a while to get this, but with Stenium, which is another ICO which is just finished. I believe it's finished. Let me have a look at that. So yeah, it looks like it's actually finished, which is good. They've actually sold out, which is absolutely crazy. It took me a while to get as many tokens as I possibly could, and I was able to get 5,000. Now, my plan with these tokens is that I'm going to hold on to them and hope that they hit at least $10 each. Now, those 5,000 tokens probably cost me around $2,000. Yeah, $2,000. Wasn't a problem investing whatsoever. The only tricky part was that the website was completely packed. The website kept crashing. It was hard to refresh. I couldn't hardly get any tokens, and I just kept trying and trying and trying, and eventually I was able to get the invoices so that I can make the payment. And the tokens were selling at 40 cents per token, which is actually a really good price for a ICO, especially one with hype such as this. I was able to get those tokens, and I kept trying over and over again, and I was able to get 5,000 Stenium coins. Now I'm going to hold on to them Stenium coins and see exactly what's going to happen with that. Now let me just have a look at the plan. No, that's not the plan. There's the plan. Right, okay. They have a decent term for lending, in my opinion. The contract will be for 30, 45, 60 or 90 days. That's actually not too bad. The thing that annoys me is that other lending platforms, they hold down your capital for around 200 days, which is absolutely crazy. It's just a long time for somebody to be holding your money, and who knows what's going to happen during that time. They could even go bust, or they could just vanish altogether. With this one here, it looks as though you can go onto a minimum contract for 30 days, which is pretty cool. So that's a plus side, and it's actually not too late to be able to get a hold of these coins. Now, here's a trick. If any of you have missed out on these coins, or if you've missed out on ICOs that have literally just finished, which you were hoping to take part in, what you could do is you could wait up until the exchange opens up, and as soon as the exchange is available to everybody else, whoa, look at that. Holy shit. The price of Bitcoin is 13,000. That's pretty cool. That looks like it's an amazing time to buy right now. However, I think it'll probably go down to about 13. Right, so like I was saying, as soon as these tokens, which you may have missed out on the ICO stages, hit the exchange, then you can buy them at a low rate just before they skyrocket. So that is one tactic for you to make money. I actually did that with Falcon coin. I bought the coins as soon as they hit the ICO. I bought the coins as soon as the ICO finished and they were open up and available on the exchange. I had some money, some coins in my wallet ready for the exchange for when it opens up. As soon as it opened up, I bought like 1,700 tokens, Falcon coins, and I believe I spent $1,000 on the Falcon coins. I managed to get 1,700 Falcon coins, which isn't actually too bad. I'll see if I can log into my Falcon coin account, because you'll be able to see exactly how much each Falcon coin is now, which is good. Two-factor authentication. So annoying. Easy. Right. So here's the coins I was able to get. Now if you have a look at that, 1,700. Now this is what Falcon coins are worth right now. So I quite easily quadrupled my money right there, which is absolutely amazing news, and it's an amazing tactic to be using if you're ready to put in the time. If you can get in there, get onto your computer and just be ready right before the exchange opens up. All you have to do is just put in the effort. You can grab them coins exactly when they hit the exchange at a very, very low price, just before the price starts going up and demand starts seeping in. Then there's a good opportunity for people like myself and yourself to be able to make money. So that's not a problem. I just want to see if the FCC exchange is back on. The exchange is currently offline. Interesting. They sent out a telegram saying that the exchange is going to come back Thursday, Friday, depending on which one. So we'll see how that one goes. And what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description for you guys if you're interested in Falcon coin, because the exchange is going to reopen, meaning that, let me bring this back, with the exchange about to open very soon, it means that that $5.68 is just the start of where this Falcon coin is going to go, and an amazing chance for anybody else to be able to see if they can make some money. Now with all that being said, as you guys already know, this is just my stream and my journey as to how my investments are going to be working, or how I'm going to be sharing what I'm investing in. This is not me advising you guys to invest. There is no financial advice being given here. I'm just simply sharing exactly what I'm up to these days with regards to cryptocurrency. I believe that there's a decent amount of money to be made. I think that if anybody else were to mimic this or these actions, then there's a good chance that they would be able to make some money as well. Right, so with that being said, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to. I've spoken to you about Bitfinite, spoken to you about Exocoin, I've spoken to you about Stenium and Falcon coin. That's 4 coins right there where there's a great opportunity for people to make money in. You just leave a comment, let me know exactly what you feel as though, let me know exactly what your thoughts are. If you've got any questions, let me know. If you want me to cover any certain topics, I can do that. If you want me to share more money making tactics, then do that. And finally, I need you to hit subscribe as well. Subscribe lets me send a message out to you whenever I create another video. Now if I'm going to create a video, there's going to be content in there for a regular person like myself and yourself to be able to make a decent return on. And if you hit the notification bell along with the subscribe, then you'll get a message or a notification letting you know exactly when I've put on a video. As soon as I do that, you know that there's going to be good content out there for you. So yeah, that's it, and I think I'm going to end my stream right there. Thanks for watching.